Right in the middle of San Francisco Bay, about 1.25 miles offshore, sits a small rocky island. This island is not like others you might see. There are no lush trees or soft grasses here. Instead, it is covered by rough stones, cracked concrete, and a quiet that feels almost eerie. This is Alcatraz Island. From a distance, it looks peaceful. The waters gently lap its shores, and seagulls wheel overhead. But the calm surface hides a darker history. Alcatraz is not just an island, it is a symbol of punishment, fear, and escape. For decades, this small piece of land held one of the most feared prisons in the United States. The first prison buildings were constructed here in 1909, but it wasn't until 1934 that Alcatraz gained its infamous reputation. That year, the island was transformed into a maximum security federal penitentiary designed to hold the nation's most dangerous criminals. Surrounded by cold, swirling waters and guarded by strict rules, Alcatraz was nicknamed the Rock. It was meant to be impossible to escape. The waters around the island are cold and treacherous. Strong currents swirl beneath the surface, and the bay is often cloaked in thick fog. Any attempt to flee meant risking hypothermia, drowning, or capture. Authorities called it a death trap for prisoners. Inside, the prison was equally harsh. Cells were small, concrete boxes with minimal light. Guards patrolled constantly, and any signs of unrest were met with swift punishment. Over the years, Alcatraz housed some of America's most notorious criminals. Alphonse Al Capone, the infamous Chicago mafia boss, was sent here in 1934 after his conviction for tax evasion. Robert Stroud, known as the Birdman of Alcatraz, was another prisoner, though he spent much of his time confined to solitary. George. Machine Gun Kelly, a notorious gangster and kidnapper, also lived within these walls. Despite the harsh conditions, the prison operated for only 29 years before it closed in 1963. The costs of running the island prison were high, and new methods of incarceration were emerging. But Alcatraz's story didn't end there. The prison's most famous moment came in 1962, a daring escape attempt that would captivate the world for decades. At that time, America was in the midst of social and political upheaval. The Second World War had ended less than 20 years earlier, but tensions still simmered. Crime rates were rising in cities across the country, with armed robberies and drug trafficking on the rise. Two brothers from Georgia, John and Clarence Anglin, found themselves incarcerated at Alcatraz after several previous escape attempts from other prisons. They were soon joined by a prisoner named Frank Lee Morris. Frank Morris's life story was extraordinary. Orphaned at a young age, he grew up in the foster care system, often escaping from difficult situations. Eventually, Maurice turned to crime. He was known for his sharp mind and calm demeanor under pressure, earning a reputation as a master escape artist. Together, Morris and the Anglin brothers formed a plan many thought impossible. They would escape from Alcatraz. Over the course of 6 months, they secretly worked on their plan. Using makeshift tools, including spoons, they chipped away at the walls behind their cells. They created an intricate network of tunnels and passageways hidden from the guards. To deceive the night guards during head counts, they crafted lifelike dummy heads, using materials like plaster, paper, amateur, and hair stolen from the prison barbershop. The heads were detailed enough to fool even a close inspection. On the night of June 11th, 1962, under the cover of darkness, Morris and the Anglin brothers slipped through the opening they had created. They climbed to the roof, then descended down pipes and ladders to the ground. Their final challenge was the bay itself. Using over 50 raincoats stitched together, they fashioned a makeshift raft and several life vests. They pushed off into the cold, choppy waters of San Francisco Bay. The following morning, the guards discovered the prisoners' empty cells and the fake heads left behind. A massive manhunt was launched. Despite intense search efforts, no trace of the men was ever found. The FBI conducted a lengthy investigation lasting 17 years. In 1979, the case was officially closed. The official conclusion was that the men likely drowned in the bay, their bodies lost to the cold waters. But many remained skeptical. Over the years, there have been reported sightings and unconfirmed claims that the 3 men survived and escaped to freedom. Some say they reached nearby Angel Island or even the mainland before disappearing. Though Alcatraz closed its prison doors in 1963, the island remains a symbol, a testament to human endurance, desperation, and hope. Today, thousands visit each year to explore the prison grounds, to learn about its history, and to wonder about the fate of those three men. Was their escape real? Or is it just a legend born from the harsh walls of the island? The answer may lie buried deep beneath the cold waters of the bay, or somewhere far beyond, carried by the currents of time. Perhaps the greatest mystery of Alcatraz is not its walls or waters, but the story of courage and determination that refuses to be forgotten.